Kia ora guys, welcome back to the Black Jersey. My name's Max and welcome back to my channel. A big thank you to all of my patrons as well for supporting me over on Patreon. Today we're going to be talking about England's squad, which has finally been named ahead of their 3-test tour of Australia. Sorry I didn't do the Ireland one, I did have a bit of a cold. I'm still getting over it right now, but it's okay. I'm gonna cover England today and my next video will be on tactics that the All Blacks and Irish could have against each other. Just because we do seem to have a thing where English fans get a bit rabid over my favourite player not being in there. Oh no, where's him? Where's he? I'm just going to go over the players who have been ruled out of the tour due to injury, and that begins with Alex Dombrand, who was ruled out while warming up for England ahead of the Barbarians. George Ford's unavailable at 10, Joe Launchbury's unavailable at lock, Louis Liner is unavailable for the outside backs, Sam Simmons at number 8, Kyle Sinclair at tight head prop. It's okay though, Sinclair will almost definitely rather start at the World Cup. Henry Slade and Manu Tuolangi, who needs to retire, have been ruled out at centre. Nick Dolly's been ruled out at hooker, as has Anthony Watson in the outside back. So there are a few new players that have been called in, which is always good to see. We're going to start off with the hookers. Jamie George, though he got dropped for a wee bit in 2021, has recovered to form and he's in there as a 31-year-old with 66 tests leading the way. The very talented Luke Cowan-Dickie is behind him. They were both British and Irish Lions last year, so I think Dave Rennie definitely would have been making sure he had their numbers. We're now seeing Jack Walker as the third choice. Walker is 26 years old, so he is no spring chicken, but it will be good to see what he can do in the event of Jamie Blamire, Nick Dolly, etc. going down again. Over to the loose head props, it's very good to see Ellis Genge retaining his role as he did captain Leicester in the Premiership final. Mako Vunipola also earned a recall, which I'm very much a fan of, as he can be really relied on in experience, whereas he's not much of an ill-disciplined person like how Joe Marler can be on the pitch, though he's funny off it. I do worry though, is it a bit of a risk to play Vunipola past his prime? We'll see. Bevan Rod's there as well. He's 21 years old and from the Isle of Man. The 2-cap prop is very promising. Over to the tight heads, it's going to be a big mission for Will Stewart, who has often played second fizzle to Sinclair. Now at 25 years old with 20 caps to his name, we're going to see if Will Stewart is indeed at the next level, because obviously we do need backups for England if Kyle Sinclair is down. Joe Hayes at 23 years old has 2 caps, so this will be quite important for Joe Hayes as well. Patrick Schickerling, Namibian born at 23 years old, does not even have a Wikipedia page, and well, here we go. He's been selected in the team. I'm very curious to see how he goes, as I've never actually seen him play before. I only watched the Six Nations. As you can probably tell from my accent, I'm a Kiwi, so paying attention to my own club scene is a bit of an ask already. Ollie Chessum at 21 years old is there with 2 caps. He's been a bit of a rising star as of late, so this could potentially be quite good for his development if he gets more minutes. Nick Asikwe though, at 20 years old, he was kind of thrust in a bit too early, and I remember in the first half of a match against South Africa 4 years ago, he was subbed off, so hopefully after 4 years in the wilderness and after the 2022 Six Nations, his confidence is back up to scratch. Maro Itoje, a very talented player that I have many good things to say about, is in there too. A bit of a leader in that England group by now. Charlie Yules though, he's still 26 years old, but don't you think they've had a bit too much game time given to Charlie Yules? After that red card, can you say his talent outweighs the risk? I guess this may be the thing that helps Eddie Jones to find that out. We've now got Johnny Hill, the 28-year-old, returning. He was a British and Irish Lion last year, and they missed his grunt in the Six Nations, I must say, so it's good to see Johnny Hill back in there. Courtney Laws is most likely going to be playing at blindside flanker, as there's 5 locks. Nick Ezekiel can play at blindside too, just to note. Laws has played 93 tests, so it's very good to see him there. They haven't named a captain though, so it'll be interesting to see if they go with either him or Owen Farrell. Tom Curry, 24 years old, 40 tests. That is a hefty amount of caps, so he could well and truly challenge Alan Wynne-Jones' record later down the line if Michael Hooper doesn't break it. Lewis Ludlam was kind of last minute call up for the World Cup in 2019, and since then he's become a bit more present throughout the squad, so it's good to see him continuing to have a bit more of a career. Sam Underhill, very good to see him there, even though he only played once in the Six Nations. He's such a good jackling threat over the ball, and a good like-for-like replacement should Underhill go down as Jack Willis, who's also returning from injury. He's only played 3 caps, but I think he could possibly have made the British and Irish Lions had he not been injured in 2021. But at number 8, this is the one thing I'm seriously gonna disagree with Eddie Jones on. Like, guys, everyone's gonna make some bad comments about Eddie Jones in here, but the thing is, his teams always dip before greatness. The one thing I will complain about though is why on earth do you have Billy Vunipola? He's not good enough for test level. He's too heavy to be lifted in a line-out, whereas he lacks the jackling potency over the ball. He does a single thing for the team, and it's carry. Why could he not have taken in Callum Chick, who played against the Barbarians, or possibly a younger option at number 8? I'm not a fan of seeing Billy Vunipola getting a recall whatsoever. But I digress. We'll go over to the halfbacks, and Danny Kerr has been a bit of an SOS as Ben Young's sister-in-law has passed away, so my deepest sympathies do go to the Young's family, especially Tom, Ben's older brother. So yeah, Ben Young's not there. Danny Kerr, I do worry about him being there too, as he kind of takes away the 10's ability to run a game. Harry Randall at 24 years old has played just 2 tests, so I think that it would be no harm to see them take a gamble and maybe start Harry Randall. He's a very, very talented young man. And Jack Van Portfleet was the England under-20s captain recently. Now at 21 years old, he has cracked the team. He's normally Leicester's backup for Ben Youngs, but hey, I'm curious to see how he goes, as I've never seen him play either. Marcus Smith, one of the best 10s in the world. Hopefully Danny Kerr doesn't start, because I want to see as much of Marcus Smith as possible. Owen Farrell has finally returned from quite a few injuries as well, so I think he is the missing piece of that England puzzle. So with a midfield that's just a wee bit low in experience, start Farrell at 12, and he'll be a good guide for the rest of the team, especially if the team that is fielded doesn't have too many caps. George Furbank does appear to be the third choice 10, as I don't think Orlando Bailey is ready quite yet. He's been in the mix for quite a few months, but just hasn't made it onto the field for a test cap, so I think George Furbank is probably the guy they're looking at as the third choice 10, as they do have a ridiculous amount of outside backs. In the centres, Fraser Dingwall at 23 years old is uncapped. He's been in the mix for quite a long time though, so it will be very good to see him finally get a cap for England. Joe Marchant, I can't believe he's only played 12 tests. It seems like he's been around for a long time, and he's very, very good. Pace to burn, awesome passing, and some pretty good defense right there too. Will Joseph, 19 years old. The same age as one of my previous guests, Kelsey Tanetti, talent over there. Either or though, they're playing the same position of centre at 19 years old, and Will Joseph's older brother was Jonathan, who was a very, very potent player in the early days of the Eddie Jones era. So hopefully this apprenticeship will accelerate the development of this young man. And Guy Porter, 25 years old, uncapped. A few people didn't expect him to get the call-up, so hopefully he goes well. Now we're going over to the outside backs. Tommy Freeman at fullback is a very young player, and hopefully he can bring in a bit more excitement, as there are a few older statesmen in the outside backs contingencies. One of them is Johnny May. Yeah, sure, he's played 69 tests, and he's the country's second to highest ever try scorer. Is he still good enough for test level though? I'm not entirely sure over there. One day he was quicker than Usain Bolt. It's all good, I know that, but players do reach a point where they're past their prime. That could possibly be the same for Jack Nowell as well. He played, what, like 1 minute against Scotland in the Six Nations? I hope these two are just kind of there for experience and guiding the youngsters rather than to be first choice options without testing out proper backup options, you know what I mean? Another good one though, Joe Cokanasiga. He would have far more than 11 caps had it not been for the horror run of injuries. Eddie Jones, as I've said before, he's a smart man, and the dip always comes before his greatness. Joe Cokanasiga will probably be key to getting that going as a crash ball running centre. I've said it so many times, I sound like a broken record, it's read like a book, so the power is needed on the wing. Cokanasiga's probably the only true England winger who can do that, so I'm hoping he can get a decent go at it this time around. Freddie Stewart, the fullback, what a fantastic player. He's approaching status as one of the best players in the world, and hopefully he is retained at fullback, as you do have to have an experienced spine for a World Cup. And Henry Arundel, he's been making the rounds for his highlight reels as of late. I've seen them, he's pretty electric, and I did score this one try that was very reminiscent of Christian Cullen's running game. He's just been named as an apprentice as he's still 19 years old, but hopefully this will be a good thing to get his development going, as I don't think Adam Radwan is quite there size wise, and I think the fact that he may not be able to play fullback could be counting against him. I'm not entirely sure with what's going on over there, but yeah, this is the 35-man squad England has made. The tabloids are all saying 36, so, and I've triple checked, so let me know if I am missing anybody. Righto guys, that's going to be it from me for this video. Analysis all done by a Kiwi on this squad. Leave your comments on what the result of the England versus Australia series is going to be. It may be quite interesting to watch after England did lose to the Barbarians, so I'm hoping it's going to be a fun watch, especially as I'm also covering my own nation versus Ireland. Make sure to like this video, comment on this video once more, and subscribe before hitting the notification bell so you don't ever miss a new video, guys. You can also support me over on Instagram, where I'm closing in on 16k, and of course you can visit me on Patreon or my PayPal tip jar to make a donation. I'm also doing a bit of opinion journalism on my own website, so look that out. Thank you so much guys, much appreciated for the views.